Hi everyone, it is April and I am here today to share a tutorial on how I did my Jennifer McGuire alphabet die hack. This is the first time I've done a voiceover, so we will see how it goes. So what I'm doing, I am in version 4, so this is kind of a tutorial with the version 4 of the Silhouette software, and I initially clicked the text icon on the left menu and typed the word hugs. And then I brought up the text menu on the right hand side, which allows me to modify the text that I have just typed. So the text on the left, the text icon on the left, makes it so that you can type on the mat, and the text icon on the right allows you to make the text bigger, adjust the font that you're using, that kind of thing. So I typed the word hugs and I changed it to the impact font, and now I am creating a box, a rectangle box that's going to be the size of my card front, where I want to cut out the hugs. And if you notice, whereas you used to bring up a menu item, I think it was on the right, no, across the top, to resize your box, that is now located in the menu across the top in the version 4 of Silhouette. And when you are using text, it kind of appears there. It's kind of magic. So when you aren't using text, then other menus come up across the top of the software. And right now, I can't remember if it defaults to being unlocked as far as maintaining the dimension, or not the dimensions. I can't think of the word right now, but I unlocked it, or if it didn't unlock it, it defaulted to unlock so that I could make the dimensions of my rectangle exactly what I wanted. And then what I did is I moved the hugs into that rectangle, and now I am centering it in the middle of that image. So what you do is you select both your hugs and your rectangle, and then you open the transform box, I believe that's what it's called, from the right hand side, and then I am centering it in two different places. I'm centering it vertically, and I cannot see what the other one says because my screen is too small, but I'm centering it horizontally and vertically, I believe. Then I repeated the hugs image, because what I'm doing is ultimately I am setting it up to cut it out on a 12 by 12 sheet of paper. So I will have one rectangle card front where the hugs will be cut out of the center, and I will have extra hugs being cut out of the paper on the sides, so then I can stack those hugs on top of one another to get some dimension. And this is all because of what Jennifer McGuire did with her metal dies, is she cut out a card base and she cut out the word hugs from the card base so that she could do some inlay work. And then on another card, because she made several cards, she cut out several of the hugs dies so that she could stack them on top of one another to get some dimension. And now what I am doing is I am continuing on down that path, but now I'm using a different sentiment. And my sentiment is friend. So I used the text icon on the left hand side and typed the word friend. Then I brought up the text icon on the right hand side so that I could change it to the impact font. Then I went to the shape icon on the left hand side, which would have a rectangle, an oval, I think a hexagon, and created that rectangle. And then across the top, I am able to resize the rectangle to the exact size that I want. I'm moving the friend sentiment into the rectangle and resizing my friend so that it fits within my card base. I've kind of caught up with myself now. And now I'm bringing up the transform. I've chosen friend and hit shift and also chosen my rectangle so that I can center that friend horizontally and vertically. And then I've clicked friend, right-clicked on my friend, cut, and done a duplicate so that I can create multiples. Now I'm grouping friend and the rectangle together, and the group icon is now across the top menu bar as well. And it's not always there, it's only there, again magically, when you are able to use it. Now this is the business version of Silhouette Design Studio or Silhouette Studio. I can't remember the exact name of the software. So I know the business version was a little different than the regular version, so it could be that icons are located in different places depending on which version you're using. I haven't loaded the non-business edition to my laptop, but I have a feeling that it's similar. I'm hoping they made it kind of the same, because it was kind of confusing if you were going back from a different version of the software. And I know on one version, on the regular version, I think all the group and ungroup and weld was down in the bottom left-hand corner. And then in the business edition, I think it was up at the top. So anyway, this is the business edition. So if you're on the regular edition, again, I think it will look similar, but there might be some subtle differences. Now what I'm doing is I copied the friend onto another mat, and in the video Jennifer McGuire did her friend at an angle. So I am putting that friend sentiment on an angle so that I can cut that out of the card base. And again, just creating another mat. I wanted to use my 12 by 12 paper as efficiently as possible, and I ended up cutting it out on basil textured cardstock with an adhesive back. So that made it easy for me to adhere the friend on top of the friend on top of the friend in order to get that dimension in my card. I started out with white, but then I sponged some red and blue on the thank you version of the card. So the white with the adhesive back allowed me some flexibility in what I was doing. And now I am creating the thank you version of the card, and right now I'm changing the font by clicking the text icon on the right, the text style icon, and changing that font to impact. I also adjusted the line spacing. The thank you, the thank and the you weren't quite as close together as I wanted them to be, and that line spacing option is in the text style box, menu box that pops up. Also, the character spacing, if you want your letters to be closer together or further apart, is also in that box. Now, for some reason, when I create my rectangle card base, it comes up in blue, and I'm not sure, it seems like everything came up in blue, not sure why that is. So I opened the color, which looks like a little art paint pad on the right hand side, and I changed the rectangle to not have any color in it so that I could work with it more easily. And here I'm unlocking the size of the rectangle so that it won't automatically change the vertical or the horizontal when I change one of them. So then I've locked it back so that I don't lose that size. I'm not sure that I would have to lock it back, but I always try not to, I try to lock it so that in case I accidentally change the size, it will keep my dimension. And now I'm choosing my thank you and clicking shift and choosing the rectangle, and I'm centering that horizontally and then vertically so that my thank you is in the center of my 5 1/4 by 4 piece of cardstock. And now I am replicating that, then I am grouping my thank you and my rectangle together so that if I move them around on the mat to make my cutting more paper saving friendly, then I don't move that thank you from the middle after I went to all that work to get it to the middle. And here I'm adjusting everything again so that I get the best use of my paper, and moving the friend up, and then I'll move the thank you up, and just trying to arrange it so that I, again, get the most efficient use of that precious paper. And here I right click on the thank you and click duplicate. I believe it's duplicate. There are multiple ways to do anything in the Silhouette software. You can right click, you can find the menu item across the menu bar. There are always multiple ways to do everything. And arranging it on the mat, trying to get all those thank yous on there. I have a video that has already published because it's, again, this is the first time that I've done a voiceover, so I was a little nervous about it, and finding a quiet place in my home is sometimes a challenge. So I went ahead and edited and published the video showing where I put all these cards together, you know, where I'm taking them off the mat and how I did that. And so this will be actually part 1 that comes after part 2. And here I am saving what I'm doing so that I don't have to create it again. If I want to go back and do the same cutout later, it won't be an issue to do that. So I want to thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know. I plan on having some more videos with the version 4 software. There are some other die cut techniques that Jennifer McGuire has done and other people have done, and I want to use those same techniques but convert them to being created using our machines as opposed to the dies, because that's why we bought our machines, right? So we don't need to buy all those dies. Don't get me wrong, I still buy dies. I like the ability to get the embossing with the dies. I think sometimes the cut is prettier with a die, but for this type of project, using your machine is just as plausible and looks just as good as when you use the die cuts. So if you like this video, please hit the thumbs up, and if you will subscribe, I have more videos to come. I already have some videos up, and if you want to check out my blog, I have all kinds of projects over there as well. Again, thank you, and I will turn on some music. I'm not really sure how far along we are. Oh, I did really well! Ha! I really did, so I'm right on it. So you all have a good day.